Well, as you know, we were dealing with the tragic loss of Daphne. I want to give you guys some awesome news. For those who've been aware about Impact Wrestling, and of course, various people who work there, Don West, who was a commentator for Impact Wrestling back then when he was TNA, Don West, this past June, he was diagnosed with a brain lymphoma at the age of 56. And now, good news is happening. He's in remission. That's some great news for everyone. I know those who may have heard about what was going on with Don West, you probably are happy that now this is done for him. Hope it doesn't come back. But all we can say, we're happy that he's in remission, that he's going to live a little more longer than we expect. I've been a big fan of Don West ever since I started watching TNA. He was he's a very he's a huge mark on the Amazing Red. I'm a big fan of the Amazing Red, so is he. I remember how he always rooted for him, and I'm grateful that that happened. I hope Amazing Red is happy that he's okay. This news came around today on various news outlets, so let's just be happy that he's okay and we can enjoy life. So, let's get started with another episode of the Leader Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to the Leader Wrestle Zone. All things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, let's begin with the latest Gatoh Move ChocoPro event 150. This is one of three events that's happening this weekend. Started today on a Saturday and it ends on a Monday in Japan time, just to let you guys know. So, the first match we had, of course, Sayaka taking on Masahiro Takanashi. This match was a bit more brutal because, as you know, Takanashi is a very tough individual, as you may or may not witness. You may see this on YouTube, but you can guess. Sayaka, she is on a learning curve. She is one of the fourth generation wrestlers trained under, of course, Emi Sakura. Um, However, the match was stopped, or should I say, forfeited. That Sayaka got hurt, but however, Masa Takanashi was not satisfied with this. Now he seems like he's interested to try again whenever she's healed up. So basically, he's the kind of guy who's like, nope, I will not accept this win. I'm gonna do this the right way. So there are some wrestlers we've seen in various times where they will not accept a win in a fair faction. You know what I mean? That is the same thing. Now I witnessed it already with Stardom during the Tokyo Cinderella event, but I only saw clips of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. But we'll see when she'll get back. Now the next match is a tag team match. We got All Energy Chiko Shikawa teaming up with Yuna Mizumori taking on my favorite tag team, the Best Bros. As you know, this is one of those matches where, of course, the Best Bros are at their best. Now they know they got high energy, all energy Chiko Shikawa, but however, Yuma Mizumori is a different story. But somehow this combination were no match near what the Best Bros are good at. So I'm very happy that they won and they continue to kick butt. However, if they would have lost this match, it would have given the opportunity for both Chi and Yuna to get a shot of the all Asian the Asian Dream Tag Team titles, which they have currently hold. Now, as you know, they do the Janken, which is the rock paper scissors. I have to say, I did not expect this one to happen, but Yuna Mizumura was the winner. And of course, Chi, who was trying to take the chocolate last time from Sarugi, this time she tried and she failed. Yuna mocked her right in her face. So better luck next time, Chi, because you better win the next Jokin. I don't know if she ever won a Jokin tournament. I gotta remember, but I don't know. But we'll see what happens in the following episode, which is 151, and it's gonna be an exciting week with Gatoh Move. So let's move on with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, so as you know, New Japan just are doing one of their biggest events ever. First time in several years, they go to Yokohama and do a show at the MetLife Dome for a 2 day event. This is very huge in New Japan history. Now, the opening dark match that, that they used is a Stardom special match. Now, for all you New Japan fans out there saying, wait a minute, why is Stardom in there? Simple. Their parent company, Bushiroad, owns both New Japan and Stardom. So the answer to that question is, why not? That way they get fans to be interested in one of their products. That's what they do. And I have to say, the match they set up, we had Queen's Quest, which is consistent of Saya Kamitani and Momo Watanabe taking on Lady C and Micah. Now, I have noticed if you're listening to English commentary, there was a bit of confusion by Kevin Kelly, which one is Momo or Saya, and but frankly, they got it right this time when things were going on. The connection was very poorly, but however, the match was pretty good. It showed a lot of character. Nico just talked to me about Lady C, how he is fascinated with her ways, and I gave him some fun facts about her. But I have to say, this match was pretty good. It showed a lot of character because New Japan fans should jump on the Stardom bandwagon. So, but however, it was Saya who actually picked up the victory when she pinned Lady C with the Phoenix Splash or something like that. Yeah, the Phoenix Splash, which is one of her alternate moves that she do, and it was a pretty good match. Not gonna lie. Now we get to the opening match of New Japan. We have LIJ members Bushi and of course Hiromu Takahashi taking on Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles. Now keep in mind, the following day, day 2, Robbie Eagles will put the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title on the line against Hiromu. Now Hiromu wants to be the first person to get a crack at him. This is going to be good. Now keep in mind, there was a lot of good factors in this match, as you may or may not know. Hiromu hasn't teamed with Bushi for quite some time, ever since he was injured. But one of the factors the commentators made, both Kevin Kelly and Chris, that we have seen how good Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles have been cohesive as a tag team in the junior heavyweight division. And it played out pretty well until it was Robbie Eagles to put Bushi in the Ron Miller special, forcing him to tap out. But the real question is, can Hiromu strip him of that title? The answer to that, we'll just have to wait until day 2, which is going to be huge. Now, the next match is we have former tag team partners, now enemies. We're talking about Roppongi 3K's Sho and Yo. Now, this is one of those matches that was brutal. So, Sho actually turned on Yo after the match, and Sho considered Yo as the weakest link of the two, and he's drastically forcing him, retire. You don't belong in a ring. But I have to say, Yo put up a good fight. It was like telling the story, I'm not going to give up, despite what Sho would say. But however, Sho is now turned heel, and he used the chair and he used the low blow to win his match. And then, of course, once again telling him, just leave already. Go away. However, the biggest surprise, but however, I'm not going to say this, I was surprised, but I knew sooner or later this was going to happen. He is now officially a member of the Bullet Club. However, not just the Bullet Club. As you may or may not know now, there is a new sub-faction, And that sub-faction is led by none other than Evil himself, calling it this house the House of Torture. Is now consistent with him, his insurance, Dick Toga, and of course Yujiro, and now Sho is involved. Now Kevin Kelly did point out an interesting fact. Who was it that's been whispering in Sho's ear? That's a good point. It had to be Evil. What if Evil has been keeping an eye out on Sho? Now, my initial assumption about Sho, I thought he would join the United Empire because Will Ospreay said he does have several junior heavyweight contenders that he's been looking at, and I thought Sho could be one of them, but frankly is not. But the idea of the story is Sho has now found it more successful as a singles competitor ever since Yo got injured, and he feels that now that Yo is back, he's making Roppongi 3K weak. But Yo, he's not going to give up that easily. My presumption is Yo's going to leave for a while to train or do whatever he needs to do in order to get even with Sho for what he's betraying. But however, now that Yo is in the mix, a Sho is in the mix, this could be a problem for the following day, where Evil challenges for the IWGP World Title from Shingo. But we'll see what happens then. Now the next match we have is of course the KOP Provisional Trophy title in a I Quit match. Now Chase Owens has forced Toru Yano to go back to his ruthless ways. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, before Yano became who he is now, he had a different look. He was blonde, he was vicious, he was ruthless. He wasn't the haha I pulled a joke on you. He was the guy who would do whatever it takes to win. And he was part of that look of him came when he was part of the Great Heel Bash, or Great Bash Heel, along with Togi Makabe, until he turned on him and joined Shinsuke Nakamura for Chaos. And now that look came back, Chase, I don't know if he knew what he was doing, that he actually knew what he was getting himself into, I don't know. But this is a vicious side of Toru Yano. For one time in my life, I actually seen it, and I have to say, dang, he wasn't joking around. But I think he was still that same sneaky sly guy. The reason I say this, he brought some handcuffs, and Chase tied him up with handcuffs, and somehow he actually had the key in his taped up in his wrist. That is the haha Yano that I know of, and I think he must have knew that sooner or later this was going to happen. But the one thing that allowed him to win is when he scared Chase Owens with a pair of scissors. So the real question is, does Chase Owens has to live with the regret knowing that this is the Yano that you asked for, you wanted to bring in? There's the expression, be careful what you wish for. And I think that storyline played out so well, despite the fact it was a very brutal match. And I have to say, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Hope maybe we get to see more of that Yano down the line. Now, the next match is a special grudge match between Jeff Cobb of the United Empire and Chaos leader, what's his name? Kazuchika Okada. Now, Jeff Cobb has lost to Okada twice. Now, he's trying to redeem himself of those losses. He's been viciously attacking Okada. And this is one of those matches. But it was a very, very tough match even for Okada. Now, Jeff Cobb is determined to put him out, and that's exactly what he did when he put him in a very high version of the Tour of the Islands move, and finally getting one up on him. But what does this mean down the line? Does Okada needs to be more worried about now with this? I don't know, but we'll see. Now, this next match, this is for the IWGP United States Heavyweight title between Kota Ibushi, who's finally returned after he was dealing with a bad reaction to the vaccine, taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now, Tanahashi chose him. The reason is this. We weren't sure if Ibushi was 100% better after he got very ill, but he seems like he's still the same guy that we remembered. And I think this was a perfect test for him to show that he still got it. Because we do know he is still in line to challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight title that currently Shingo would have it, but right now we should have that match between Shingo and Evil. And I'll do that the following episode once this video is already uploaded. But the match was great. However, somehow the Ace retained the title, and there's still no indication who will be the next challenger. But I do know that Moxley would like to challenge Tanahashi. It's either in New Japan or AEW. But we'll figure that out at some point. But for now, I say I'll end it right here, and let's move on with AEW Dark. Okay, originally I wasn't planning on this, but I had to do it because I did not know AEW Dark was going to be on, and I assumed this took place during the Rampage tapings. But what the hell? Opening match, we had, of course, 2.0, Matt Lee and Jeff Parker, being accompanied by Daniel Garcia taking on Rosario Grillo, and of course uh, Hunter Knox. Hunter, I think that's his name. Not anyway. As you know, 2.0 has been making a statement for a long time, trying to destroy anybody that gets in their way, especially guys who they're sick of, taking all the glory, and that includes Darby Allin and CM Punk. But however, it was 2.0 who took the victory, but in the end, they gave a beatdown to their opponents to send a clear message. Now, do I think they could interfere in that match between Darby Allin and Punk? I don't know, but we'll see what happens then. Now, in recent time, we have noticed how Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose are determined to exert themselves, knowing that Nyla Rose could be one of those people that could win the Casino Battle Royal at All Out this Sunday. But does she have what it takes to do it? Well, we'll see what happens then, because apparently she's not the only one. Next match, we got Wheeler Yuta taking on Baron Black. Now, Yuta, who's been a phenomenal wrestler, I think I'm becoming a fan of him. He's amazing. I have to say this was a very good match, but however, he did have a hard time putting Baron Black in that signature move that always helps him win the pinfalls. But luckily, it did work for him. Sadly, Chris Statlander was not with them with him because it was just Chucky T and of course Orange Cassidy. Next match, we got Julia Hart taking on Heather Reckless. To be honest with you, it was an okay match, but it showed a little bit of character of her. She won the match when she pulled the Bulldog splits on her. However, as soon as the match was over, she was viciously attacked by both Nyla Rose and Jade Cargill, allowing herself that she will no longer be involved with the Casino Battle Royale. But they did show clips later after this, where they showed what happened in the press conference between Jon Moxley and Kojima, who will be facing each other at All Out. But this is going to be a good, interesting match. A veteran versus a guy who is a violent-tempered person. Next match, we have Hikaru Shida taking on Missy Kate. Yeah, Missa Kate. It was a good match. She put her away by using the Falcon Arrow. We know she could be a target with other competitors because she is one of the longest reigning women's champions in AEW. As you know, she is trying to get back on the title hunt ever since losing the title to Britt Baker. So this is going to be fun. Now the next match is another women's match. We have Red Velvet and of course Chicago native Sky Blue. It was a good match. I enjoyed the whole thing. They're about the same height, but however, Red Velvet had the best experience she could do when she put her in the in the final slice. But however, Tony Khan comes out and asks Sky Blue if she would like to join to be part of the Casino Battle Royale, and now she said yes. This is a dream come true for Sky Blue. Now, some of you probably think, will she be signed? I don't know, because we know she's been recently appeared in NWA. I don't know if NWA are considering signing her. It all depends on who can give her the better offer. Now, as you know, we're getting closer to the Casino Battle Royale and All Out. We're seeing alliances. We have Penelope Ford and the Bunny teaming up in order to make sure they get to the finals in order for them to get a shot of the AEW World Women's title. I know Penelope Ford had a shot of it, but she wasn't even close. But we'll see what happens then. Next match, we got the Pinnacle along with the Pinnacle, Sean Spears and Wardlow taking on JDX and Brandon Gore. You can guess right away that it was already over the moment Wardlow put Brandon Lee out, and then of course Sean Spears tried to be a smartass, took the pinfall on him while he's lying down dead. So we'll see what happens then with the Pinnacle. The next match we have Dark Order, John Silver and 10 taking on Zachariah and Jones. I have to say this good teaming combination with 10 and Silver was pretty good. I have to say I like it. It's pretty fun. I enjoyed it. But of course, we're still following the story about dissensions within Dark Order, but we'll see what happens then. Now we get Penelope Ford along with the Bunny taking on Queen Aminata. You can guess right away that match was already over the moment Penelope Ford pulled off her moves on Queen Aminata, but that's how it goes. Then we get a video package from Smart Mark Sterling and Jay Cargill once again making a statement about the Casino Battle Royale. I mean, I do see Jay could get a shot of the title, but the real question is, she could be a target to anybody saying because of her size, her athleticism, her undefeatedness, anything could happen in that type of scenario. Next match we have Frankie Kazarian taking on Dean Alexander. I wasn't too hyped, but I can tell you how it ends. Frankie Kazarian put him in the chicken wing, forcing him to tap out. Next match we had Jay Cargill with Sterling taking on Blair Onyx, but it was already over that quick with Jay Cargill. She is now making a statement that she wants to win this one. Now, Thunder Rosa, as you know, on previously she was viciously attacked by Nyla Rose and Jay Cargill. She hasn't forgotten, but she actually said in Spanish that she's going to beat the crap out of them. But we'll see what happens then. Our main event, we got Chaos Project, Luther and Serpentico taking on Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Fun match. I have to say, even Taz brought up what happened at the softball game between them and AEW rosters and Pro Wrestling Tees. Luther used Serpentico as a bat. Yeah, but however, it was Jurassic Express who won the match, has always been one of the tag team favorites in AEW, and that's how it is. But of course, at the end, we get CM Punk, who decided to close out the show and have the fans go home happy. And I thought it was a pretty good moment, and of course, they had to brush up with. CM Punk wants Jungle Boy to brush up on this song, but we'll see what happens when he gets it right. But for now, that's it with AEW Dark. I say let's move on with Stardom. Okie dokie, so the last thing I'm going to review is a past event by Stardom. This is part of the Cinderella tour in Hamamatsu. This took place on the 24th of April. It's a pretty good match, 5 matches only. The opening match was Lady C taking on Starlight Kid. Keep in mind, I'm behind Stardom, but I'll be catching up to that very soon. They reveal on this particular show, Starlight Kid have already beat her twice, and this is the third time they come across each other. However, Lady C was determined to win this one. She was almost close, but however, the tenacity and charisma of Starlight Kid is just too much for her. Of course, Starlight Kid pulled off an amazing victory when she pinned Lady C. 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote, folks. Next match is a 3-way, or should I say a 2 a 2-on-1 match, because we have members of Queen's Quest, Azumi and Momo Watanabe, taking on Mayu Iwatani of Stars. Now, you probably say, yeah, it could take advantage, but however, Queen's Quest are not afraid to fight each other. That was they were designed for when they first created by none other than Io Shirai. If they fight each other, they have to prove their worth. That is what Queen's Quest is all about. But however, the match was so chaotic. Um, there was a triple count out on all three competitors. Now, here in the United States, we can call that BS. But in Japan, it doesn't matter. But you probably would have agreed with me if that was the case. Next match is a 6-woman tag team match. We got DDM, Natsupoi, Himeka, and Maika taking on the current artists of Stardom champions, Cosmic Angels, Unagi Sayaka, Mina Shirakawa, and Tam Nakano. Now, the match was so good, I have to say, it told a lot of the story because the reason is this. There's still some old grudges between both Natsupoi and Tam Nakano. One time they were friends, and now they're enemies, and Natsupoi is trying to catch up to Tam Nakano, trying to prove she has reached faster than her. But however, can she speed it up? Well, apparently. This time, you would agree with me again. This match ended in a time limit draw. But however, Natsupoi has other plans. She wants to challenge the Cosmic Angels, especially Tam Nakano, for the artist belts. But however, the artist belts were supposed to be defended against Odatai members. Odatai. That match was canceled, but however, Tam Nakano is not afraid of the challenge. And that's what happened. So basically, Natsupoi is hell-bent on trying to catch up to Tam Nakano in every means way, but we'll see what happens then. Next match we got is a tag team match. We got Oda Tai, Ruka, and Natsuko Tora taking on DDM and the current goddesses of Stardom champions, Julia and Suri. I have to say, they're one of the most best tag teams right now in Stardom, and you can guess right away. But however, none of the dirty tricks that Odatai did here worked on them whatsoever. But however, it was Suri that picked up the victory for her team when she pinned Ruka. Now Ruka, she may be the weakest link, but she was nowhere near match as Suri. Our main event, we have the other members of Odatai. We have Fukigen Dev and Konami taking on Queen's Quest Sayaka Mitani and Utami Hayashida. And once again, the dirty tricks from Odatai keeps getting in the way, making sure they win the matches. And that's exactly what took place. However, there was no Rina, no Saki Kashima being involved in Odatai. But basically, this time Fuki and Dev won by pinning Sayaka Mitani, and it was a big upset. However, the match ended in their favor, but of course Natsuko Tora decided to put out a promo. She's fully aware of what's been going on with the artist belts. She's been targeting those belts because she believes the Cosmic Angels don't even care for those titles. That's not true. They do care, but they have this fixated mind believing that those titles belong to them completely. However, she's not liking the idea that DDM are making a play for those titles. But Tam Nakano and the rest of Cosmic Angels are not afraid of any challengers that get in their way. But of course, Natsuko Tora did told Rossi Ogawa set up this match in Sendai. And of course, it will happen. And I can't wait to review that one. That's going to be a very good match. So I think I'll end it right here with Stardom, and there's still more Stardom I need to catch up for all of you. So this is going to be fun. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, me reviewing these events. Don't forget, we still got more of Gatoh Move. This is day 1 already, but we're going to day 2 and day 3. And same thing with New Japan with their with Wrestle Grand Slam in the MetLife Dome in Yokohama. We're going to be in day 2, which is going to be another big event. Um, Also, don't forget we got All Out from AEW. I'm excited for that. Uh, but if I do have time, I might review another past event. It all depends. I know GCW did a lot of events this weekend, and it's so crazy. I need to catch up with all of them. I probably won't be able to do all of them until the starting week, but we'll see how that turns out because there's still more I need to catch up with. Um, but for now, let's just end this episode like this. But I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu, so goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang!